She can scream like hell. She'll be your scream queen on the movie screen. She can tell you stories goodnight and give you a good fright. You'll have your eyes and ear entertained, but stop and listen to her vocal range. Her name is Mel, she's our guest tonight on In the Spotlight. Enjoy the interview we present with the actress from hell who is heaven sent. Oh, her name is Mel. Oh, her name is Mel.
Hello and welcome to In the Spotlight, a special edition of In the Spotlight. I'm Kyle Pierson.
And I am John Horton. And with us today, we have a very talented actress. She's been in the independent horror genre since 2010. Has, last time I looked, 116 credits on IMDb. But that's not all. She also does audiobooks. And from what I remember, she is also doing a children's book. And at one point, this is rumor, but I heard she may have been a professional mermaid at one time too. It's the lovely Mel Heflin.
Hey, welcome. So glad to have you.
How are you doing?
I am wonderful. I just had kind of a day off, I guess.
I'm sorry to ruin
so
it.
refreshed. Oh no. I am so refreshed from getting to work with my hands and get away from the mic for a little while. And I'm ready to go back to work tomorrow.
So the first question that really comes to my mind is, it's a pretty important question. Are you a scream queen?
Oh gosh, that's a loaded question to start me off with. Oh my gosh. Okay, so back when I began my in my early career, that was my goal. I really wanted to become a scream queen. It was such a prestigious, honorable title for someone to have. And I was told by someone that I trust and care very much about, do not call yourself that. These are titles that are, these are awarded to people who've worked really hard and earned them. So I held that with me, and I try not to, be like, yes, I'm a scream queen, but I am so incredibly
in
honored.
116 plus
Right.
features.
So I'm wondering if I've met that level where I can allow myself to call myself a scream queen. That is the goal.
I vote yes.
I believe so, because I'm looking through the credits and they just kept going and going and going and going. Plus, and it's because you say scream queen because of your mouth for screaming. There's something about you I think that stands out, and it's your eyes. You have some photos online, and your eyes look somewhat hypnotic, and it's like you easily look like you're possessed without having to put in the contacts if you just darken around the eyes, because your eyes just stand out so well. And there was somebody like that in high school. I remember going through the yearbook, and all of a sudden I came across this one picture. I'm like, wow, look at this. And you have the same feature. And I think that is something that has always, when I've been looking through your work, has stood out. Something about you. You can be in a group of people, but your eyes pull me right to you. So I think if you're not a scream queen, you're definitely the eye queen, because you have a feature.
I have screamed a lot in my career.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they'll need context or something to do something to make their eyes pop. Your eyes automatically pop. So
thank you.
Yeah, at least I think so. So
yeah, I agree. And the facial expressions that you make sometimes are fucking amazing.
Thank you.
I just love watching some of the stuff where you make a quirky face, even if it's just on Facebook. It's fun.
I have a blast with it.
Oh yeah.
I've got a kind of a personal question.
Sure.
You and I'm sure you don't know this, worked on a movie together. Both of us voiced characters for Hellvira's Haunted Asylum of Horror. I was Jester, and you were Tammy Jo. And I was actually on set when I assume you've heard of this, the situation with Morgan Wellborn.
I I know people have their own personal situations, and if I kind of have a pre-existing relationship with somebody, I try to stay more on the neutral side. I don't really
Oh,
know what happened, and I know there's two
oh,
sides
okay.
to the story. I don't really know.
Okay. Well, I hate to break this to you. He actually passed away. We were
Oh, I
Okay,
did
yeah.
know.
We were working on the follow-up to the Hellvira movie. And he fell, he hurt himself, and then ended up having a heart attack and dying. And
On set.
no, he didn't die on set. He fell on set. He was actually shooting the very first scene and fell and broke his hip in three places. And then when he got released from the hospital 3 weeks later, he shortly after that he had a heart attack and died.
Oh,
And we were trying to make the follow-up. And then the question I had, and I don't know if you had been in contact with him,
I
his
had.
plan was to take all of the characters from Helvira's Haunted Asylum and bring them back in this movie when they made the longer feature. Because
Oh,
my character was going to be in human form. There's going to be some other people, and I don't. I was just wondering if you had been in contact with him about that because I know that was something
I
he
had a
was
little bit.
discussing.
I know he really wanted to work with me again. And you know,
Yeah.
it's sad.
Yeah, yeah, and I was disappointed because yeah, I wanted to work with all these people, and then yeah, it just fell through, and it's not going to happen. But so I was this close to working with you. I worked with you from afar,
Oh,
but maybe hopefully in the future we can cross paths again.
I work in a lot of circles, so it's very
I know
possible.
you're everywhere. You're every one of these crowdfunding campaigns I see nowadays. It seems like your name is listed. There's a click
We've
of
got a
you.
lot coming up over the next few months.
Yeah, we want to hear about them. We want to hear
Excellent.
what do you have going on? What are you working on right now?
Right now, oh, you know,
If you can say it.
as of this morning, well, last night somebody wrote me and was like, "Hey, I have a film festival that I'd love you to submit to." I'm like, "I don't know anybody around here, like." And then I sat down and wrote something this morning. You know how it goes. So over the next couple of months, things are kind of slow, but something kind of landed in my lap earlier today for this fall, which I am very excited about, that I'm kind of sworn to secrecy over, especially since there's not an entire script yet. um,
Do do you find that to be the case with a lot of the productions? Because I've done some of the both John and I have been involved in some of these crowdfunding campaigns, and it seems like we don't necessarily know what we're getting into in the beginning. We know that there's a basic outline for it, but there's not always a script involved. How often do you get cast for roles and you don't really know what it is you're going to be doing until a script comes across your desk?
I'd say definitely much less than 20%.
Oh,
Most of the
okay.
time, somebody sends me a script and they're like, "I want you to read for this." And they already fully know exactly what they want me to come in as. Um, the other part of the time, people sort of see what I'm comfortable with doing and um, like what I can do, and then they'll write in a little scene for me based on what I'm willing to do and what I can do. And then there's been a couple of times though. It's really hard to get into a character that you're reading about as of that morning. But yeah, it's how it goes sometimes, I guess. I like to fully flesh things out and have have my time with the script and get to know my character and take her on a few dates before throwing her out to the wild to be seen by everybody.
Now, I have not watched all of your films. There's a lot to work with there.
There's a
Last,
lot.
last night, I sat down and watched Return of the Corn Zombies.
Okay,
And,
wonderful.
and you were a bad guy in it. Was that your first turn as a villainous character?
I've played kind of, like dark characters, but I think that was the most badass character, like
Yeah.
the evil. She's pretty bad.
Oh yeah. And you played it in such a way that was, I don't know how much time and thought you put into the character, but the way that they stood, that you had them standing like they were some butch. It's like almost like sleepaway camp, where you were born a girl, but your dad raised you to be a boy. you
Yes,
know, from the
that
stands,
was.
the
I'm glad you
dancing.
picked up on that.
That was awesome. I loved it.
Thank you. Yeah, Betty's is very like militaristic, like she is a tool. She's a meathead and a tool, but working with Meerkats and SJ, they really gave some like deeper nuances to her as well, working with me on the character. And it just, oh my gosh, I was so thrilled with that entire movie. The entire cast. I couldn't watch Shonda's scene. I was right there, and I had obviously the scene that followed, my moments in that scene, and it was just the whole. I was just blown away by everybody, how emotional and how much depth every human had on that whole set. It was beautiful.
You've got to
One
be
of the
making
things that
some
I
pretty
really,
tight friends at this point, because it seems like there's a lot of you that are in the same movies, as you go through, like Angel Bradford and
Oh,
and
I
the such,
love
and like
her.
it seems like you keep, you know, do you look for those particular roles? Do you just get lucky in that you keep getting cast with each other? How does that play into your decisions at all?
Well, there's been a couple of times when I found out that friends were on already signed on to a particular movie, and then I'm like, hey, let me audition. I'd love to be alongside these people. I'd love to, you know, um, get to work with such cool people. I definitely pay attention when a project will pick and choose their people, and like you see this wonderful lineup forming and you know that there's just like it's going to be stellar on that set. So I always love to be included in those.
How did you first get into this?
Acting.
Yes, yeah, any of it. And what, if when you're doing other roles other than acting, what are your preferences? What's your dream, or have you already achieved your dream?
I got into it, a model friend of mine, we used to model together, and this is it used to be a taboo word, but she was a modelographer. So she was going to school for photography, and she was also a model, and we would shoot together on all forms. She was like, "I'm getting ready to work in this horror movie. Would you like to come audition?" And I was like, "Yes." I didn't know that was like a possible thing that I could do, and this was back in 2008, 2009, and I came along, and I was so dedicated. I knew that there was a whole bunch of other people. They were having trouble filling this one role. That's why they were, casting their net a little wider. And I wanted it. I wanted to get in. I wanted to rub elbows. I wanted to see what it was all about. And even if I only did one, I was going to be so happy just to get my one chance to do, because I love B horror. I've always loved B horror. And I came and I auditioned and I happened to rock it, and um, things really fell into place. And I met one person on that set who took me to another set, and then it just my circle started growing and growing, and it's been a lovely ride. My dream role, though, I keep a little list, and at the beginning, like of each year, I update my list, the goals that I've achieved for that year, and then the goals that I haven't achieved for that year, I make them bigger. Um, this year, I really wanted to do a nun movie, and it
A
hasn't
regular nun
fallen into
movie
place
or a
yet.
naughty nun movie? What are we talking here?
Um, I'll probably get more specific about it next year, and dream a little bigger about that particular role. uh, I was really inspired when I saw the movie The Nun, and
Okay.
so
Okay.
I've been
Okay.
sort
Now,
of
now,
trying to put
okay.
myself into those. Those are really cool.
How far outside of the horror genre have you gone with your acting? Have you done anything outside of horror?
I recently, just a couple weeks ago, did an 80s sex comedy.
Really?
It was very different. It was by indie horror people. And if you really get down and think about it, the timing for comedy and the timing for horror, the suspense and the buildup and the buildup for a laugh, the timing is really similar. So there were some challenges that arose on that set, some last minute challenges, and we'll see how good I did with what was thrown at me.
I'm excited about that one because Porky's, Revenge of the Nerds, Summer Vacation, I think.
It's very much along those lines.
I love that show.
Oh man, yeah. That's there hasn't been one in a long time.
You got Sexy Sorority Sisters of Death on the horizon as well. What can you tell us?
Oh, yes. The campaign begins. The last time I checked, it was probably around 5 hours ago. I got the notification that the campaign is going live in 13 hours as of about 5-ish hours ago.
Oh, okay.
So sometime overnight, the campaign is live, and the campaign is, from what I was told, it's an all or nothing campaign, and the budget is quite high on this one to get what the director is wanting to get. But, it's got this star-studded cast. It's got it's very ambitious. But I think if we're able to make it, it's going to be really cool.
Which service is it through? Is it an Indiegogo or a Cinebacker?
Yes.
Or it's Indiegogo?
It's Indiegogo.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You said it's an all or nothing. With something like that, I know there's some out there that they have the goal, they don't meet the goal, but they say, fuck it, we're going to do it anyway.
This one is not that case.
What happens in the case that it doesn't make it for you and the other actors and such? I mean, is there anything, or you just go, okay, move on?
We say, oh, we tried, guys. Let's maybe work on something together in the future. Let's, in some situations, let's break this down into something else and revisit it. In other cases, it's, oh, well, bye, everybody. Pack up, go home.
Okay.
Having been involved in so many of these films now, and a lot of them are backed, by, people like John and I. Do you have any tips or warnings for anybody who is getting involved in these type of campaigns?
Oh, yes, absolutely. My big thing is, if I were looking as an investor or somebody to, help back some of these films, I would look at somebody's track record. Like, do these people have successful campaigns? Have they made their films? Have they fulfilled perks? So that's pretty much the biggest one. And I know there's people out here like this where they've done a dozen campaigns, none of them met the goal. They kept the money anyways. They never fulfilled any perks. Like, that's it.
Wow.
I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Hopefully they go back, they figure it out, and they do better in the future. But that's a tarnished reputation that you've got.
That can also impact, like, if they say they're casting you, for example, and people come on because they're like, oh, it's Mel, we got to get involved in this, and then it doesn't happen. Yeah, I didn't think about it. It doesn't just look bad on them. It could potentially look bad on you, even though you have nothing to do with it at all.
There was one time I worked on a film. This was like 2010, so I've learned a lot since. And the movie was pre-ordering. I had done my part. I had went home. The movie should have been finished. I pre-ordered it myself, and then several of my friends did, and 6 months, a year later, I had somebody come to me asking for a refund.
Wow.
And it's happened a few times since where um people have come to me and they're like, "Hey, I pre-ordered a movie 2 years ago. It never came out. I pre-ordered it because I know you. Can I get a refund?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, like, what do I do? Like, what do you do at that point?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're supporting you." It's an incredible, rock and a hard place. Like, do I go out money and ship you something that I have, or do I contact the filmmaker? Usually, in situations like that, there are no longer possible to get a hold of. And I've learned my red flags, people who change their name. I've run into a couple of filmmakers in my very long career where they will go under multiple different names. They'll have a different name on their email than the one that they tell you. And everything else looks
Wow.
so legit. Everything looks very professional. They've got these professional posters, even as of 15 years ago. Like, it was a little more of a big deal to have a professional looking poster because there was no such thing, generative AI or anything like that.
Hmm.
So you see these posters, you see these film clips, you see a professional script, and you get a contract and you're like, yeah, everything checks out. But the name thing has always stuck with me because there's been a few of those. I get off tangent a lot.
No, no,
Sorry
well,
about that.
that's right on. That explains beautifully what people need to know,
Oh,
because
good.
yeah, it is. John's been burned a few times. I've gotten fortunate. I've never gotten burned. I've had a long wait on some
Mm,
things, but I've never been burned. And usually they're worth the wait. So
good.
that's been helpful. But yeah, I was wondering because you've been involved in so many of them that you would know. So yeah, it's something to think about if you want to invest. Like when you were saying all or nothing, to me that is the better way to go because from
Right.
my standpoint, because okay, if this doesn't get made, I get my money back. As
Yes.
opposed to some of the other ones, especially with John, unfortunately, he's been left you know penniless.
Empty-handed.
So
Oh,
no, that was perfect. That's
And it
exactly
does
what
make
we're.
it bad because you get burned and now you don't want to contribute as often.
right.
I stick with strictly people that I have done it with and they've come through with flying colors. It blows me away you saying that some of these people running these change names. I've never heard of that. That's crazy.
It's not as common anymore because those people get found out. But whenever you change your name every couple of years, it's like, okay, what are you running from?
Yeah.
It's
Now,
not as easy nowadays, I guess, with facial recognition.
So
are
one
you
thing.
do you use those same things to guide yourself as far as what roles you should take? Do you look at their history of what they've
Yes,
completed and
I
such?
try to. It's very rare that I'll divert from that, and usually that's a situation of feeling very deeply connected to a story that I feel like needs to be told. But otherwise, I definitely look at somebody's track history. I'm like, how many movies do you have out? What do your movies look like that you have out? What do your actors say about you? I have this little checklist in my head, and um, you know, nowadays I have the people that I really like working with, but I also have if this person reaches out or this person reaches out, I'll say yes.
So you were saying like from the beginning, you did an audition, you nailed it, and you got in. So I was assuming that this whole time, well, not this whole time, that you started off just like, because I had done a lot of extra work and then I wanted to finally say something. I'm like, I would like a speaking line. Even if I have to buy the damn thing, I'm going to do it just so I can say I've done it and then reel back. So I assumed that that's how you started. You had bought your way in and then just became so popular that everyone's been hiring you. But from the beginning, you auditioned for your first one
Yep, my
and
my
got it.
first role, I think I was on for it was only like 5 days, but it was $100 a day.
That yeah, I've spent $100 a day to be in one. So you are now my hero because you were the one you made it right from the beginning. So that is
Yes,
awesome that you
and
were
I
able
thought
to
that's how it
avoid all
always
this and get.
went.
Wow, that's
It's only really been recently that anybody's asked me to buy a role, and it's like, don't think I've this ever been, like,
Yeah, why would you? Yeah, when
why am
you're
I
already
taking a step back
established.
here?
Yeah, you're established. You are a name that I use to get other people to buy into a movie. You don't need to buy anything. So that is awesome. I had no idea that you just got lucky right out of the bat. So that's fantastic. Kudos to
And
you.
the thing is, with that first movie as well, that was what, Scarlett Rain, correct?
Yes.
And that's on YouTube. I found it on YouTube and watched it.
Yes.
That's a really good movie. It's
It's a
it's
really good
it's
movie.
not schlocky. It's not B movie. I'm thinking, okay, it's 2010. It's an independent movie. I love them regardless, but quality wise, I'm not expecting very much. That was a great little flick. I was very
Um,
shocked. I'd like to see that revisited with today's technology and a bigger budget. I love that movie.
I had copies on my convention tables right up until Gross Fest. It sold out like the very first like moment of Gross Fest, and then I was like,
Yeah,
I've got a
and I
couple
showed
around
up,
here somewhere. Better find them.
and I showed up on day two.
And how's that also work when you're doing the convention circuit? Do you get with the directors and buy, a certain number and then you sell them for whatever you want to sell them for? Do you already have an agreement with them so they're like, okay, help me sell some of these and
So it's usually all different ways. It depends on what the distribution is. And these days, I'm trying to get it written into my contract a little early. Like, even if it goes to distribution, then I'll be able to procure copies because getting these DVDs into the hands of fans is why I've always done this. Uh, just I did a convention my very first year working as an actress, and it was everything. Uh, seeing these DVDs passed around. Uh, it's it's all different ways, but I have 100 DVDs of this, 100 DVDs of that, all stacked up in boxes in my next room, just holding on to them for whenever the next convention comes.
You have another convention coming?
I was supposed to be at Haunted Screams in just a couple of weeks, but they have canceled the convention. So
the whole
we were
convention got
supposed to.
canceled?
The whole convention got canceled, and that was, I want to say, September, like 18th or something like that, 18th and 19th. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but we were premiering Pigshit that weekend at that convention. So now we're going to have to do our own premiere. So I'm gonna get to see everybody again soon.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. That was one I
That's
was
not a
considering.
coincidence, is it?
I'm like, this one is either going to be one of those cult classics that's going to live on, or it's going to be one of these that
I
are
think
like,
it will be.
yeah, okay, because that was the thing. I was on the cusp. I'm like, is this going to be, like you were in pig shit, or you were in pig shit?
See, I heard the name and I was like, what are we doing with this name here? And then I read the script and I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. Yes, let's go.
Has there ever been anything that you've turned down for
Oh
any
yeah.
particular reason with?
And why?
Yeah.
I
You don't have to
turned
say the
down.
name of it, but
Oh, it's okay. There's a lot. I turned down a lot. Just whenever there's just a bit too much nudity, just for the sake of nudity. There's been scripts where characters are nude the entire time, and it's like, what are we doing here? Not, there's nothing wrong if you want to make those sort of things, but I don't think those sort of things are for me. There's got to be some sort of motivation behind it.
how does that work? Because, in studio films, there's intimacy coordinators.
Mhm.
I'm assuming, and this is an assumption, that on these either, the independent films or the crowdfunders, that they can barely afford a staff of any kind, that there probably is not intimacy coordinators. Is that correct?
So, they just started introducing intimacy coordinators into independent films over the last few years. Even on some of the higher budgeted things, they didn't really use that previously. And I've never really had an issue, even though these are lower budget movies, the amount of care a lot of these actors put into their characters. Now, there's always the exception. There was there was one time that I was scheduled to do a sex scene with somebody and they brought a condom. And I was like, what do you have
So
that for?
an
What do you think is
actual
going to
sex.
happen?
Wow.
They were
Didn't
so
quite get that it
confused.
was simulated.
And he was the type of fellow that didn't really listen when he talked. So
Wow.
I had to
Did he realize what type of film it was?
I
Maybe he
don't think
just
so.
okay,
He
because
had never
maybe
acted
he thought he
before. He
was
was a very good actor, but he had never acted before. I think he really thought that we were about to get it on. And then they were just sort of like, here's your modesty piece. Like this is
Mhm.
they handled it so beautifully. I get very awkward. I'm like, um, but it was very well handled in the end. And it was a really cool scene, and the movie didn't come out. So
Oh. Well, see, okay.
All that shit, and it never comes out.
Well, that's another thing. Since you bring it up, you don't know who these people are. So, have you ever been in a situation personally, or have heard of someone being in a situation where you're like, okay, is this actually a movie getting made, or is someone trying to get their rocks off by pretending they're making a movie? And because, there's things on the internet, I'm told.
you know what? There there's been a couple of scripts that I read, and there's one that sticks out, and this all I will say here is parents need to be very careful when they're throwing their 15, 16-year-old daughters at these movies. It was this film that was under the guise of being a Christian film,
Oh,
Oh
and
dear.
it was going to be filmed in a high school, and the entire thing, I don't know how much you fellows know about fetish content. The entire thing was like fetish content.
Really?
Like the main character was going to get tied to a table and tickled with pies in the face, and then honey, like this was wet and messy, this is tickling, this is bondage. And
And they thought they were going
um
to shoot this in a high school?
it was very local to me, so I was very curious, and I was talking with the director, and then I read the script and I saw that, and I didn't even need to go any further. I was just like, wow. And then I remember the comments in the local thread that was like all these parents like, my daughter's 15, my daughter's 15. And I'm like, these people need to pay a bit more attention. And I hope that these people know what to look for in these things. But I don't think he went on to film anything, but it's very possible that he could have.
Wow.
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 I would have I would have never thought some of the stuff that I'm hearing like that. Have you ever had like a stalker situation at all? Ever or
Who
heard of any
hasn't?
of your buddies with it?
um yeah, there was one friend of mine that kind of got the wrong idea somehow. We were friends for a good long time. I don't know how he got the wrong idea, but he did. And then the situation kind of escalated, and he was driving around my city looking for me and talking to some of my close friends. My close friends, it didn't really pick up on them that, like, oh, maybe he's stalking Mel. And I didn't know who he was talking to, so I couldn't be like, oh, hey, if this guy asks where I am, don't, like, he's not trying to surprise me. It's gotten a little weird. And oh gosh, it was such a sad, unfortunate situation. I had to go to several police stations,
Oh my
and
God.
I had like paperwork documented of the I had documentation of it, and I had to go to 4 different police stations until they would write it down in case I were to go missing, so that
Holy
they would
cow.
maybe know where to look. And the only cop that finally put pen to paper, he told me, well, really, this is your fault. You should just delete all your social media.
Oh my God. Oh my God. See, that's the type of thing you see in a movie and you're like,
Yeah.
I hope that, this isn't real life. This isn't how they act. And then that's you find out it's
Yeah,
based on
and
reality.
it sucks so much because all I wanted them to do was make documentation that this particular person has been, it's been escalating and I might go missing. So,
Wow. Yikes. How long
Uh,
ago was that?
it's been over 10 years now.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. That's good at least.
Yeah.
But now you're in more stuff. So do you
Yes.
worry about that? Because you're
Oh no, I do
becoming
taekwondo now. They would be lucky to get away from
oh
me.
smart. Very, very smart. Well, we've managed to really get into a serious mode we didn't think we were going to get into. So
yeah.
let's lift it up a bit. What was, I know you kind of fell into this sort of, but what was your inspirations as growing up as, the type of movies you might want to be in? And was it just horror, comedy? What movies did you watch and say, yes, I want to be an actress?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. There's Demon Night, there's Ice Cream for Ice Cream. There's, it's I was always watching indie movies and I was always just in awe of horror. I loved Elvira's movies. I loved The Crypt Keeper specifically. I did
Oh
not
yeah.
understand, I was younger, as we all were when we got into horror. And I just remember for a moment being obsessed with, is there anybody in the suit? Is there anybody in there? How's he moving? And then many years later, I'm at a convention working it, and I meet John Kassir, which was
Oh
a really
wow.
cool memory
Wow.
for me. He was really cool. Uh, yeah, those John Carpenter's vampires. I used to have these huge aspirations of like, I'm gonna work with George Romero one day, and like just some of the coolest people. I'm just glad I got to meet some of the coolest people
Yeah, when I did the
that I've always
Hellvira
looked up
movie,
to.
I was hoping that that might become a regular thing, hosting movies like that with those characters. Because when I was doing Jester, I was kept, my voice is pretty much based off of Crypt Keeper. Because I'm like, okay, that's the voice you think of if you're going to host horror movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was the same thing. I had the same feeling. So that's awesome, very awesome.
What would be your ideal movie to be in? They're going to remake a horror flick or they're going to do a sequel for it. What would be your dream franchise to be in?
Oh, it's Scream. I love
Scream?
Scream. The Scream movies are so good.
What is it about Scream that sets it apart from the others for you?
I think it was just, that the original, it was the whole, oh, there's two killers. What? It was, back in the day, it was just like unheard of. It was completely uncharted territory, and that struck a chord with me.
Yeah, and the fact that they talked about horror movies in the horror movie. So
Yes,
it kind of like, yes, it set it up nicely. Are you a fan of the scary movies at all?
I
The parodies
am.
of them? I think I've seen them more than the source material, to be honest. I keep watching the parodies. John's always been the really horror guy, and I was the comedy guy. And I think Return of the Living Dead brought us together because it was a mesh of the two. And
Oh, I
now
love
and,
that.
and now we've become part of both worlds now, I think.
I love a
I've
horror
gradually
comedy.
warped him. I have gradually managed to warp him into funding movies like House of Killer Pancakes.
Yeah, yeah, he got me started. I think Meat was the first one, which is the one that actually just came out. And
Excellent.
yeah, and he says, get involved in this. And then I think I've done almost 10 of them now. And I'm either, I voice something or I pop in something. I'm trying to be you. I want to be
Oh,
you now.
yay.
I want
Yes.
someday somebody call me up and say, hey, do you want to be in my movie? As opposed to me saying, how much is this going to cost me?
Oh,
But
it
no,
means so
I
much that
seriously,
people
and
want
I'm
me
not
involved.
kidding. The fact that you nailed that on your first attempt just really is dynamite.
I
And
wanted it. I wanted it real hard.
Now that you've done so much acting, and I know you've done other, elements, do you have another goal? Do you want to, do you see yourself moving into more directing? Do you want to, because that's what they say, actors want to be directors, directors want to be actors. But it sounds like you were acting is what you wanted to be, and you're making it a reality every day of your life now.
So ever since I've really become who I am, especially like over the last few years, I've never aspired to be anything more than what I am. I aspire to do other things, but I really love where I'm at. But if I do aspire to do one thing, I've been it's a little embarrassing. I have been slowly introducing myself to learning um practicing, dabbling in some music.
What's
Singing?
embarrassing about that?
I'm I'm not classically trained, and I'm it's hard to find producers and stuff, but I really aspire to do like musical moments in films. So
So
if I
you,
don't have any previous stuff, nobody will even consider you.
Right. You got something out there. I heard a song that you had sung. I don't remember hardly anything about it because it was like at 1 o'clock in the morning. I stumbled across it while I was doing like research or something, and I was like, "Oh, well, what's this?" I was like,
That's
"Oh my
me. I
God,
wrote
she's good."
I wrote it with, oh gosh, John Castiglia, out of Italy. He was my producer on that one. And I wrote a vampire jazz smoky lounge uh, type song, and I filmed the music video for it yesterday.
Wow.
oh, very
Is this
nice.
available anywhere for folks to listen to? I know the video
Not
probably not.
yet. I'm I mean the song's done. There's no changing it. It's it's what it is. I have to be happy with it. I hope people like it. It's once my friend Keith finishes on um we're sort of collabing on it. So he's got a little stuff to do on the video, and then one day soon he's gonna be like, here it is. And
I
it's
don't
terrifying,
suppose
but it
we
will be
can get
time to release.
a little teaser,
If I had
just a
it,
couple lines.
oh gosh, I'm a little nasally, but okay.
Put on the spot.
Right on the spot, and here I am forgetting my own lyrics. Um, I sang it like 30 times yesterday for the video.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'm sorry, but we've got you. You brought it up, so
Okay,
if we
I'm
can
gonna
get a
take
little.
one peek at my lyrics because
Okay,
my
that's fine.
computer's right here. I blinked. I blinked. Just like every time I go in front of a camera. Just kidding.
Maybe I don't want to be you after all. No.
Yeah. Rethink this plan.
Hey.
But I think I don't see anything embarrassing. I wish I have like a radio voice, I'm told, but as far as singing goes, it's god awful. And I try every once in a while, and people remind me that they're like, well, the reason why the original artist sings it is so you don't have to. So,
Okay, so I'm a little nasally, but
all right.
it's kind of spoken word. I don't age, but I ache just the same. With a hunger that whiskey can tame. You see youth, I see ghosts in the glass. Every kiss tastes like the past.
Oh my.
Nothing embarrassing
You
about
heard
that at
her, heard
all.
it here
Oh, thank
first.
Yes,
you.
my singing voice, it would be embarrassing.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
that
do
was
not ask
wonderful.
us to be your backup singers. That's never going to happen. Well,
so
how
that was
would
that
you?
selfie I posted earlier with the hair, the
Oh
Marilyn
yeah, I
Monroe
haven't
hair.
seen
People are
that.
calling it.
Do
Yeah,
you also want to learn to play an instrument or just sing?
I I dabbled in ukulele for a while just because it only has the four strings. And I can't sing and play an instrument at the same time.
Not yet. Not
Not
yet. You're
yet.
still young.
I'll keep working.
You got plenty of years to nail them both. So
That's
fantastic.
true. Eventually things will slow down, right?
Yeah.
So of your huge body of work, what would be the film that you would say, this is the one I want people to see? If we're
Can
only
it
going
be
to see one
upcoming?
movie, what's the one you're either most proud of or the one that you said, this is really the one that just blew me away? Which one would you want people, if we could only ever watch one of your
Oh my
works?
God, it's so hard.
Hey,
And I
it'd be a
won't
tough
ask you which
call.
one you don't want people to see.
I
Because I
always
know.
say it's my favorite movie is the one I'm working on right now.
Very good. That's the perfect answer. Perfect answer.
I am kind of partial to Mrs. Claus though, because when you combine Christmas and horror, it makes something special.
I'm surprised that
Yep.
doesn't happen more because then it's a Christmas movie. People watch Die
I have one
Hard.
coming up.
Oh, see, that's perfect. People watch Die Hard every year. It's not a Christmas movie, but it's a Christmas movie, so people
Right.
watch it. So yeah, I thought Terrifier 3 was brilliant. Like that's what you want to do. Is there
Yeah.
any other advice that you would give anybody working their way up?
Yes. Okay, I have so much acting advice that I've collected over the years. The biggest and most important thing, and the reason that I am where I am today, is because I showed up. That is the number one thing. People are going to call you back when they know that you are going to be there, and you can't go anywhere else if you. And it's nerve-wracking. It's terrifying. It's exhilarating, but that's a happy thing. It's terrifying to get ready to go into a collection of people that you've never met before. You're about to meet, I don't know, 10, 15, 30, 100 people you've never seen before, and they're all going to judge you because they are seeing you perform something, and you are going to have to be your most vulnerable self to give to this character in front of cameras and micro boom up operators and all these other things, but you have to show up or you're not going to go further.
You know that's actually the same advice Tom Hanks gives people. He always says, if you just show up, that's half the battle. He's like, you got
Yes.
to come here and do what you're told to do. He says, and he says, you'd be surprised at how many people don't do that simple thing. And
Yeah.
you've
My
already
wife has
nailed
said that to me before too.
it.
Just do what you're supposed to do. I get that a lot. So you're currently writing a kid's book, right?
It's finished. I have a proof copy right here. This isn't
Oh,
the finished one.
All of
Good Night
that.
film set. Oh, cool.
On the great film set, there was a camera and some lights and a mask that invokes lots of fright. Come on, camera.
That's cute.
Oh,
Did,
cool.
did you write it and did you do the illustrations or did you have
I
someone help
did.
you
I
with
have
it?
all my paintings right
You
here.
did that too?
Wow.
You're like the complete package here.
I went to school for art.
Really? Oh, look at that. Look at how cute
This is
that
based
is.
on a director friend of mine, but I won't say who.
That is so cute.
This is an actual shot list from one of my sets. I just liked this camera. How do I turn off this
With the
note
automatic
there?
focus.
Yes.
It always goes in right when you need it. So
Yeah.
And this is from Pigshit, obviously. This is a fog machine. It's a poor fog machine, but it's a fog machine. There's no AI. They're
no, the
all
fact that you
painted
did it
by
all
me.
yourself.
And you can see there's a lot of little nuances in this. These are the prop bananas that I couldn't stop eating on set of Night of the Dead Sorority Babes. These are the croissant That was Night of the Sorority Babes. Veggies, because it's my favorite snack on set. Always get really excited for fresh vegetables. This is a little floaty flamingo from Amityville Pool Toy Massacre. This is the Ouija planchette from Ouija Slumber Party. This is the bottle shards. I have, you're not going to be able to see, but there's a zigzaggy scar right here on my finger. I got cut by some pop bottles over 10 years ago on a movie set. And they were like, oh no, you need to go to the hospital. I'm like, we need to get the shot first.
That's dedication right there.
Indie
Be
sex,
there.
that's what you do.
Joey.
This is the paddle that I made for Blood Red Beach. This is the Bloody Bone from Bloody Bones. Pigshit mask. Here's some, those are squibs. That's not specifically talked about, but those are squibs. These are blackout curtains, because you always need those on the set. And, yeah.
Well,
That's
when
pretty
can we expect
cool.
to see this book on shelves?
It is available now on Amazon through my link tree.
Oh, okay.
You just
okay.
look up Goodnight Film Set or Goodnight Film Set Mel Heflin, and there it is.
All
Get all
right,
my
we will
little
provide a
nuances.
link to that in the description. We actually post this video in a variety of places. We put them on our personal sites, we put them on our Facebook page, we put it on YouTube, we put it all over the place. So every one of those will be sure to put a link to your book on there. So that's
Excellent, thank
fantastic.
you.
That is amazing.
What
I
don't
Had a lot
you
of fun
do
with it.
at
It took
this
me
point?
months and months.
It is
What
so
don't I
cute
do?
though.
I don't know what I don't do.
Sing yet? Yes, you're working on it.
I do have a single out, Phobophilia, for the love of fear. My first song was about falling in love while watching a horror movie.
What? Really?
And that one's like an acoustic classic rock style.
I like
That's
that. I like the
incredible.
sounds of that. Now, what can you tell us about your voice work, your audiobooks?
Oh gosh, that goes every which direction. Right now, I am working on the third installment of Miss Hyde. Miss Hyde. I was like the redhead one, Miss Hyde. And the third installment, as well as the third installment of the Vampire Hunter's Diaries, which the previous book left me at this huge cliffhanger. And I can't really record over the summer because my son is home. He's loud, he's rambunctious, and I have to wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning before he pops his eyes open to get anything done. So I don't record over the summer. So I'm playing catch up from everything that released over the last few months.
How are you able to manage all of this and a family at the same time? I mean, that's a job in itself, and you've got
I have
4 other
really
jobs on the
good
side.
time management. Really good time management. I like from 6 a.m. to 6:20 I do this. Like so a day off like today was pretty rare.
So what age? How old's your child?
7.
7. What age do you think is going to be appropriate for him to see your films?
Oh, he can see some of mine now.
Really?
Some of the more kid appropriate ones. He was actually on set of Bride of the Werewolf with me
Oh, okay.
and Return to Splatter Farm. And he was, have you guys seen Florida Man?
No,
I have
I
not.
have not.
I
Oh,
saw
gosh.
Balloon Shark. That's good for
I
kids.
play
Balloon
Florida
Shark.
Man.
You play Florida Man?
I'm Florida Man. He's in
You're
that with
Florida
us.
Man.
Yes, I am Florida Man. I go full drag.
I got to write this down. We're got Florida Man.
We had
Where
fun
is
with
Florida
that.
Man available?
YouTube
Okay.
by Curtis
Oh,
Everett,
okay.
State Studios Films.
Well, since you've done a kid's book, do you want to make some kids movies? So,
I would love to make something Goosebumps-esque. I think I would really love to do. There was originally when I signed on to Dead Dollies, it ran from 2015 to 2019. Originally, when I signed on to that, they said it was going to be a kids show. and then things changed, and I I stuck around, but that's why I signed on to that, because it's like it's there's not as much these days. My son loves watching 31 Kills of Halloween. It's got Anna Clary, Angel Bradford, Ryan Martell, and it's by Bobby Knight Jr. He
Mhm.
loves watching that. Every night he's like, let's watch 31
Every
Kills
night.
of Halloween.
Well, since you're, writing a children's book, you could write your own movie and make your own, version and start your own, series of films. Have you considered that or?
That's such an undertaking, and there's been a couple of times that I've tried to get things going with like a friend or two of mine, and they'll be like, yeah, 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 and then there's just okay, this is the day we're gonna do it, and then you never hear from them again, and they
Crickets.
delete their Facebook and they hide off the map. I was like,
That's
yikes, am I that hard to work with?
you can't be because you keep getting rehired. I mean,
Yeah.
so who are your favorite people to work with?
Oh gosh, that's a loaded question. Um,
They all suck.
they're all
Every one of
just
them. Like, to
awful,
be
darn
honest,
it.
I hate them all.
Like, yikes, I gotta pull out her name if somebody I like.
I can tell you who I don't like.
How long does this interview run for?
It's hard to play favorites because
I
I
understand.
have
I
my
understand.
list. I love Acrostar. I love Mad Angel Films. I love Astronomic. I love my buddy Newt Wallen. I love my buddy Cody. Like, who else? Oh God, I said I wasn't gonna play favorites, and here I am.
There
Oh
you
gosh,
are.
Tyler Shaman, who's the director of Big Boobenstein coming up, and the Lady of Castle de la Mort. I'm gonna love working with him. He's awesome. Matt Burns is awesome. Oh God, I'm forgetting people. They're gonna get
Is
me.
this like an Oscar speech moment? You're like, I gotta think, and then you leave somebody
Oh,
out and you
I
forget.
need to write down a list of names. Like, don't forget to think.
We keep putting you on the spot.
One of the things that I came to realize at Gross Fest, the convention Gross Fest, that is strictly independent movies, independent horror flicks, is how much you guys are all tied in together. I'm
Yes.
looking for stuff for movies to have signed. I'm like, oh, I could have Mel sign Return to the Slaughter Farm. Oh shit, this person's in that movie too. They're going to be there. Well, I was going to have that person sign this. Well, oh shit, she's in. I mean, there's so much. It's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but on a B horror movie set. You know?
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. It's so
Oh, I
much fun.
love.
There's been people I've worked with like so many times, and it's like, this is our first time meeting for real. This is so cool.
I never thought I would actually go to IMDb before watching one of these movies and go, okay, who else is in here that I have seen and really enjoy? And like with Return of the Corn Zombies, that oh shit, I can't remember the guy's name now.
I'll
Hunter
probably know who it
Redford.
is. Yes.
But I'm like, oh my god, I got to find more of this guy's stuff. Oh shit, he's in Cracula. Oh shit, that's got Chandra in it. Oh shit, I'm like, you guys are so intermingled. It's crazy. I
It's
love.
wonderful. It's it's really wonderful that everybody I work with is wonderful. Now, if somebody wasn't wonderful, that probably would not be fun.
Yeah, that would not be one.
And what do you
Yeah.
feel about the fan reaction? Because 30 years ago when conventions started, horror wasn't a big element. It was like a sci-fi thing, and it was pretty much that's the way it remained.
Oh, that's the
And
weird kid, like in the horror
yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you're walking through there like, are we going to be branded as geeks? And we're like, we already are branded as geeks, so I guess it doesn't matter anyway. And I went. Houston has a big horror fest, and I've been there 2 years in a row. And they have the entire main floor of a hotel, and it's absolutely packed, wall to wall for 3 days. And you meet the absolute nicest people dressed like they're going to kill you in the back alley, and it's so bizarre. And I was talking to the police even. I'm like, is everybody staying on the up and up? And they're like, there hasn't been any incidences in all the years I've done it. So I was just wondering what your take is on the fans of your films, and is it what you expected going into it? Is it more, is it better or worse? What's your take on the independent horror fan community?
So for the most part, it's exactly as I expected. But there's this whole other element as I did conventions very early in my career, and then I started doing more and more. Uh, there's this whole other element that I just adore about the community. I really love how loving and accepting everybody is. There there are some fans that they're a little different and just they are entirely loved anyways. And I just love that about our community. And it really just made me just want to mesh right in. Like everybody loves everybody. Everybody just wants everybody to be safe and have a silly, wonderful, good, spooky time. And I just think it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how different you are. Actually, the more different you are, the more you fit in.
It's beautiful. I love seeing so much acceptance in one room, and nobody feels like a cast out like a lot of these movies portray happens. And it's just so much love.
Yeah. And that was one of the things I was saying before, because when John and I were growing up, you didn't have Tubi. You walked into a video store, and every once in a while there would be a bizarre title. One of them was Killer Condom. I remember talking about that.
Oh my gosh, I haven't even heard of that one.
Yeah, Killer Condom. It's just a condom with teeth on it. So,
It's the rubber that rubs you out.
yeah.
Oh, all
So
right.
and
It's a
I
trauma
picked,
flick.
but I picked it up and I'm like, who the hell is watching this? He, of
Us.
course, had already seen it. So I was like, and I'm like, there can't be that many of you out there. And
Yeah.
now, and not only is there millions of people out there that just cherish these type of movies, but yeah, what these conventions have become. And that's the type of movies that you're involved in, and I've been getting involved with, and he's back in, and it's become such a big thing. And before, you you couldn't really get viewership back then. I mean, you were lucky if you got it onto a VHS in the first place, and if you didn't, nobody was going to be able to see it. And now you've got Tubi and you got YouTube and you have all these different outlets allowing people to see these films that may never have seen the light of day, and you just happen to come into it at like the perfect time. That I mean, I mean, you and Angel, and Jessa, and you've become like the spokespeople for this. And I just want to say I applaud your efforts. I look forward to what you guys are doing in the future. And is there anything else that you would want to tell your fans or the horror community that maybe you haven't been able to say in the 30 seconds you have if you're signing an autograph?
Oh gosh, there's so much.
Okay,
There's
first off,
there's
I'm going
so
to interrupt
much.
in just a second. If she spends 30 seconds with a fan, there's something wrong on that day because when I met her, every fan had at least 5, 10, 15 minutes. That's one of the great things about that I've had with Grossfest. Every single celebrity there, they spent time with you. It wasn't a sign, go, sign, go. It wasn't Robert England or any of those. These people spent time with you. And you walked away feeling like you knew them and they knew you, and you could walk down the street and say, hey, how you doing? So she spent
Well,
30
you
seconds,
guys are what we do it for.
and I love it.
This is why we keep doing what we do for you guys to have something really cool to enjoy. And like that's just never really a hard day on set. you know people have a hard day, like, oh, it was cold today. Well, I found a tick in my no-no square. You know, it's still a day living the dream, but at the end of the day, it's like we're making something really cool that people are gonna like. Like that's such a privilege to get to do this as a job. Like this is what I get to do for a living. I get to make really cool things for people. Like it's it's so cool. You guys are great. Um
Well, we appreciate you, and we appreciate you coming on the show because we know, well, now I know even more. You've got so many things going on that you took the time on your day off to talk to us for an hour or so. So we really do appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely. It's been a true pleasure. I've had a blast.
yes, it's been a really fun talking to you guys today.
Well,
If
yeah,
if
no,
you
go
have
ahead.
any conventions coming up or any other appearances, I want to know about them. I'm following you on Facebook as it is, but I definitely can't wait until the next time that we get to run into each other, or I get to run into Chanda, or I get to run into Melissa, or any. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm hoping to
starstruck.
work with everybody in the next year or just somewhere, you know, like I want to run into everybody. I'm looking to try to do more conventions. I just got back from living in Japan for a little while, so I'm getting back out there. I'm hoping to do some premieres. It'd be cool to see you guys at one.
Tell us about Japan. What were you doing in Japan?
My husband's military.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. What does he think of what you do? Is he a strong supporter or does he
So he likes some horror films. He's a little pickier than I am. I'm like, yeah, give me the trash. I love it. Every now and then there's one that I'll be watching. He's like, really? Like, yes. Uh, he thinks it's cool. Um,
but he's
he, he
supportive of it, so that
he
that's
likes the
that's a
ones that
plus.
I'm in.
Well, I have the same thing. My wife, I've made her sit through some stuff that she was like, "Oh, we're not going to watch this again, are we?" I'm like, "No, we had to watch it once because I'm in it." And other stuff, just throw her like, "Wow, that was really good." And she's so honest with me. She is not going to lie. Same as John. John will review the movies that I'm in, and I'm separately. And because we'll redo some reviews together, but if it's one I'm in, he does it separately, and I'm like, please be gentle, please be gentle. And sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad, but I know I'm getting an honest opinion, and that's what I want because I don't want somebody just, oh yeah, just because you're in it is fantastic, because I know for a fact it's not. But I do, I do know that you know, and you would know this better than anybody that these are people wanting to make their dreams a reality. And maybe, it's not a movie that you would watch, but for every movie that I've said, like Killer Condom, who the hell's watching this? Somebody's watching it, somebody's loving it. And that is, that's their audience. Not every movie has to be made for me, whether I'm in it or not. And the fact that people are making their dreams come true like you're doing it, you're like, okay, I want to help these people get this movie made. I want to help this person get this movie made. That alone, you're making people happy. And I saw this guy that was, he got his DVD. His name is in the credits. He paid for his name in the credits. And he had tears in his eyes because he was finally involved with a horror movie. And you are helping make that possible. So kudos to you and all your fellow filmmakers, and thank you for what you do.
Shit, Kyle, you're gonna make me cry over here, and I got no
Yeah, I'm
tissue.
teared up. I'm like, yes, this is why we do it. Yes.
Well,
It,
thank
it
you
just means so
so.
much that people keep wanting to bring me back and put me in front of a camera and have me do all these ridiculous things that I absolutely love every second doing.
And kudos to the husband because he's supporting you, and he's you get to do what you want to do, and he could have stopped you a long time ago and said, I would prefer you didn't do this. Especially, you know, some of the scenes that you might be in, he might be like, I'd rather you not do that scene, but you know, he's still
No.
but he's still supporting you, so that's fantastic. You got a great relationship. You got, you know, the son growing up. You got a book. I mean, nothing but good things to say about Mel Heflin. So fantastic.
Absolutely.
Congratulations to all of your success.
I've got a lot coming up.
We
Is
look
there anything
Lot.
you want to plug before we wrap up?
I have a small list of all the things I'm doing over the next 6 months to a year. We've got Sexy Sorority Sisters of Death campaign dropping in a few moments.
It'll be now because yeah, by the time we have this ready to go and edited, it'll be now. So check it
Ah,
out right now.
perfect. Big Boobenstein is filming in April. We've got The Legend of Tinker Hell. It's going to be potentially next year. Shiver, Slaying All Night. Adam and Evie. We've got Joe's Exotic Zoo of Terror. I was hoping to have my T-shirt for it by now. And The Lady of Castle de la Morte.
Yes.
So
Wow.
that's all that's coming up immediately, aside from a couple little things that just fell in my lap. So we'll see how those go. It comes to
That actually
fruition there.
has to be the benefit of a lot of you being in a lot of the same movies because if you were making conflicting movies, you would never be able to get schedules aligned properly. So it's like you're going from one to
Yes.
the next to the next. So it probably helps that a lot of you are moving from one project to another similarly to be able to
And
make
what's
that
really
happen.
fun is if for whatever reason dates conflict too much, I can always recommend one of my friends.
There you
There you
go.
go.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. This
Thanks
has
for having me on.
been fantastic to have you on. John, do you have anything to add before we go?
No, I'm just starstruck. I
Oh.
really am because I I've mentioned it before. It's like to my wife, and I think I might have mentioned it to you guys at the convention. It's great meeting a Robert England or Art the
Kane
Clown,
Hodder.
David whatever Thornton. What I don't even know what his name is right now. But meeting you guys, I mean, I talk a lot, and I'm good at it. When I went to interview the very first person, I mean, I even did it with you. I was flubbing that shit up. I was almost embarrassed to put the little teeny tiny interview that I did with Melissa and you and Chanda online because I'm like, God, I'm no good at this. And
Oh, we all flub.
I was like starstruck. I'm like, I don't know. That's great
You,
having you here. I'm had such a good time talking with you and learning more about the stuff. I love the book. I knew you were doing the book, but I didn't know it was done and it was that cool looking. I
Oh,
love
thank you.
it.
I look at it and I'm like, well, like I could have added more highlights maybe on this side, like all the little
but
picky little things
it's a
as
kid's
an
book. I
artist.
mean, it looks perfect for what you're doing. I mean, it's yeah, it's I think you're nailing it. Everything. That's the thing is like it's not like you're seem to be strong in one area and a little bit weak in the other. When you pulled out the book, I'm like, oh my God, she's really good at that too.
You.
So
Maybe I'll make another one then.
well, there you
This is
go.
so well received.
Sequels. And then turn that into the movie. That will be your movie. You'll make the movie
I have
based
an
on the book.
idea for a book, another children's book, actually.
See? See, do a crowdfunder. You can do crowdfunders for that too. You don't have to even do it just for movies. It can be anything.
I
You
mean, I
can,
already have the canvases. My grandmother, my mom's mom, was a professional painter, and I inherited all of her empty canvases, and I've been working through them over the last several decades.
Must have been a lot of canvases.
A lot of canvases.
well, we're gonna make sure before we post these that the links to all your stuff is going to be provided on our pages. So for anybody who wants the book, wants to follow the movies, we're gonna do our best to link you
Yeah.
to everything that we can find. So if you're looking for Mel Heflin, you're going to find her. For In the Spotlight, I'm Kyle Pierson.
And I'm John Horton. We're saying goodnight to Mel Heflin Thank you for joining us in the spotlight.
Thank you.
Her name is Mel. She is our guest tonight on In the Spotlight. Enjoy the interview we present with the actress from hell who's heaven sent. Whoa.